we bring our friend in, Big Z, Zander Krause. He joins us now. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Sills? How you doing, brother?
I am doing. You tell me, Z.
Is my internet good today or what?
Oh, you look fabulous, kid.
I look dynamite.
You look dynamite right now.
You,
you ready to roll there?
All right, good to know. Thank you, my friend.
All right. Your Eagles are 30th in under center quarterback snaps. And one of the parameters on being able to run a spread is you got to be under center pretty much if you're going to run it.
Yeah.
How come every day, Zander, all kidding aside, how come every day we come up with all the things that we're talking about, that the changes that you guys want to make, and yet nothing fits? Help me understand this and where we're going. Like, look, I'm wondering what levels are going to be, how much we talked yesterday about. Is it going to be 60%, 20%? Tell me what we're doing here. I'm still not getting what we're doing.
Sills, I think it's a very fair question, and I don't think it has anything to do with being a hater. I think it's fair to look at this football team and say, are they sure they want to play like teams that are built completely different? I mean, I think it's a fair question. That stat about under center is not great, and I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you something now that you're going to latch on to. Got the pen ready?
I got it.
I was reading an article today, and I want to make sure, I'm pretty sure it was the Ringer. Okay. Eagles are on the precipice of a reset, is what they basically argued. Now, I want to give you a key stat from that piece. The Eagles rank dead last in throws between the numbers since Jalen Hurts became the starter for the Birds, so 2021. 903 total. It's over 100 fewer than the next closest. They're 32nd in the NFL in throws between the numbers. So that's another big part of this offense, though, is that's why I bring that up, because you go under center and you utilize all parts of the field, especially the middle of the field. I mean, everybody remembers that drive in the playoff game that Quinyon Mitchell got burnt toast on, right? Everybody remembers that drive? Where were all three of the throws on Quinyon Mitchell? Anybody tell me? All three of them in the numbers. Every one of them. So that's a concern, and the under center thing is a concern. But, look, we're going to see, dude. And that's basically the end. I think everybody can try and come up that they have the know-all of what's going to happen with the Eagles team this year. I don't really think so. I think everybody doesn't know, and we're all in wait and see mode. Now, people can feel a certain way like you do, that they're not positioned to play this way. My question to that at this point would be, how are we sure they're going to play that way?
The hires tell you.
Yeah, but I mean, to what extent? They're definitely changing. That's a guarantee. But how much? I also saw this today. I think somebody put this in my chat earlier on Birds 365. When Sean Mannion was the quarterback coach this year and Jordan Love went down, they did not run the same West Coast offense with Malik Willis. I think it was Rasputin. You said this in the chat. Rasputin, if you're listening, thank you, buddy. Pretty sure it was you. He said they ran it was a similar scheme, but it was more built for one read and RPO and for Malik Willis' skill set. He's a guy with a big arm and a guy who runs the ball well.
Yep.
So I don't think, now that's not Mannion's offense. That was LaFleur's. That's not the same exact thing. But I think Mannion I don't think he's going to trot Jalen Hurts out there and turn him into Purdy. So I'm waiting. What does it look like? It's hard to tell.
Well, that leads me to this then. With that number you just told me, and it's one thing that I've harped on since the beginning of time here. The kid does not throw into the middle of the field, which means you're predictable on the numbers.
Right.
I say that those numbers that A.J. Brown and Devontae got, they're overrated. Not the yards.
1,000 yards in today's game is not all that impressive.
It's overrated in the fact that the predictability of the D coordinators to be able to figure out what you're doing. If I keep you underneath and you gain 1,500 yards receiving, and your passing offense is 28th, dude, I'm beating you.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
can have AJ's numbers, and where AJ is a beast is after the catch when he fucking just tears people apart because of his physicality. But dude, if I know 90%, you're telling me, Zander, almost 90% of the time, I know you're going to the letters or to the numbers and to the sidelines, and you're barely going across the middle of the field. Is that Jalen Hurts' inability, or is that the coaching staff's inability, or both?
Well, you're putting me in a tough spot here with the answer, but the answer is too obvious. I mean, the stat I just gave you dates back to when he became a starter.
That's right.
It's not limited to a coordinator. It's not even limited to Nick Sirianni because they brought in Kellen and tried to run his offense, and they had Shane Steichen here as well. So it's either, I guess you could make an argument it's Nick's offense.
It's the
but
QB.
To me, it's more Jalen. I mean, look, and here's where I differ from you. Where I differ from you is not that I don't agree with that sentiment. It's that I think they can be successful emphasizing what Jalen does well. But it seems like they're trying to emphasize this, which is not what he does well. I think they can have success emphasizing what Jalen does well. They've been successful. That's where I think we differ. But if you are saying this is the offense they're going to run, I don't know. It doesn't really make the most sense, but it did need a change.
So Mike Martz sent me an email. I asked him because he ran West Coast.
Yeah.
And he's an architect of the greatest show on turf. And I asked him the particulars of a WCO QB. Precise.
We're the East Coast. Why does everybody want to play West Coast offense? We're the East.
I'm East Coast too, bro. I get it.
Turn the East Coast into the left coast. I don't know.
I got it. Okay. Precise accuracy, impeccable timing. That's a no.
What was
quarterback
accuracy?
I'm sorry?
What did you say that last one was? Precise accuracy?
Precise accuracy and impeccable timing, that high-level mental processing.
I think Jalen's actually pretty accurate. Where I think he struggles is the timing, and then that creates accuracy issues if you have timing routes. Because if you're not
I don't think he processes. He doesn't go 1, 2, 3 in progression reads. He doesn't do any of that.
No, I didn't say that. I said he's accurate. When he does pick where to throw, I think he can thread the needle. The problem is the timing, for sure.
All right. Dan, the quarterback must understand complex, intricate play calls. You think that that's been an intricate and a very complex offense that Hurts runs in the last 4 years, 5 years?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
That'll be a test for Jalen, for sure.
Dan, ability to diagnose defenses instantly and make split-second decisions. You think he's good at that?
That's where Brock Purdy excels. It's why Kyle paid him. I can't say that's been Jalen's strong suit. No, that's not. But it's hard to tell. I mean, I think, when we had Kelsey early in his career, he didn't have to do it as much. And then he's taken on more of that. Again, I don't think it's a strong suit, but I don't think he's incapable.
How much do you think the coaching staff has hurt him in his time in Philadelphia growing as a player?
Well, I think if you ask the coaching staff that, they'll tell you we helped him.
Growing as a player or playing within a system?
Right. The reason they would say that is because, if you tried the West Coast offense for 2021 or 2022 Jalen Hurts, he would have never got to another contract. He would have been a backup in the league. So I think the coaching staff, while you might be right that the style of play they've implemented would limit somebody's growth, if somebody's growth is limited to begin with, or has a ceiling in certain areas to begin with, did the coaching staff open up a new avenue for him to have great success?
I think there's a point there if you want to go on the positive side. So let me go positive here with this. Maybe what they should be doing in Buffalo is maybe clipping the wings a little bit of the quarterback up there, like they do with the quarterback in Philly. Is that also a formula on how you look at playing within a system? I think Jalen Hurts is the ultimate. I think Jalen is the ultimate systems player.
Yeah, but not in every system.
Well, the ones that Nick puts him in.
That's what I'm saying. You said you think the coaches have hindered him. Yeah, I do. But I also think the coaches decided that doing what they did, which did hinder Jalen, was the best thing for the team to have success. And by the way, the team has been very successful in the last 4 years. Now, maybe Jalen hasn't developed as much as some want him to, but the team has been successful.
Okay.
This is, you're roping me back into I can't defend Nick another day. Don't make me defend Nick more today.
No, but it sounds like that Hurts is a caboose. Hold on here. Let me go here. Hang on here. The patience to take a short completion, often reading from deep to short and allowing the play to develop. You think Hurts allows plays to develop?
He struggles because he rolls out to the right. If you're going to roll to the right, it's hard to let plays develop. So to some extent he does, but not really.
Here's what Mike said, though. Dan, I'll tell you one thing. Focuses on a high percentage throws, maintaining possession, often labeling a field general. Risk averse.
Yeah, so this is actually, this is a credit to Jalen. He's been such a playmaker his entire life, where offenses and his teams have relied on him to make plays, that him being a what'd you just call it? What was the word you just used?
Caboose.
No, not your word, the email word.
A field general.
A field general. That's not really been his game. Brock's been a field general his whole life. Jalen's been a playmaker. Playmaker and field general are very different things. They're very different things.
WCO quarterback possesses a direct tie to footwork, 3-step, 5-step. Dan, where the feet dictate the timing of the throw. That's when you can tell that if you have a good WCO quarterback. You think Jalen's got good footwork?
I think it's gotten a lot better. I wouldn't say it's a strong suit.
I would say this. The things I'm bringing
I'm going to be honest. I'm not the guy to ask about that. I mean, I have an opinion on what I've seen, but I'm not going to sit up here and tell you I know Jalen's footwork is this, that, or the other. I don't know. It looks okay to me, but I understand its implications on passing the football.
This is more about the coaching staff, not Hurts. I think they're going to coach him wrong. I want maybe that I should have started saying this to you that listen, what I'm talking about here is shit he hasn't done. How about this? We're going to be talking about potential in year 6. He potentially
No, we can't do that. Word's retired, dude. That word is save that word for this year's draft picks and Jahad Campbell. I don't want to hear that word anymore about people who've been here. I'm not even using that word on Quinyon and Cooper anymore. They've retired from the threshold. Potential is reserved for 1 and 2 year guys.
That's right. Right. Here's where this is where it kind of fits him. Ability to stay calm in the pocket and execute despite pass rush. I do think he exits the pocket too quick. You think he's got poise in the pocket?
No, he's not great in the pocket. I mean, I used to do the thing in the year. Everybody got so mad at me when I did it. I would do the happy feet. He would start to. He doesn't do well when the pocket breaks down. He doesn't. It's. I mean, you can see it through the screen. It's. You almost get secondhand like agita when you're watching it.
Here's the quarterbacks that Mike Martz said that run examples of WCO and guys that are West Coast guys. Montana, Young, Rich Gannon, Drew Brees, Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, those kind of guys. Those are West Coast dudes. Jalen doesn't look anything like those guys. And for the Eagles to try to put a coaching staff together to make him think he could be that, I'm not understand. Are you running this guy out of town? Or are you running Nick out of town?
Here was the super chat of the day today on Birds 365, not your show. Although you've had some good supers today as well. The super chat of the day this morning was, does Jalen Hurts want this offense?
He has to.
No, that's not what I asked. Is Jalen Hurts one of the reasons or one of the catalysts for why they're – did Jalen Hurts emphasize he had an issue? Is this the offense he wanted to run? I think it's a great question. And
So
I don't know the answer.
So you
John
think
said no, he doesn't think.
So you think he had something to do with Stoutland being fired then?
I don't think I'm not insinuating that by any stretch, but John said he does not think. He said, in my experience with Jalen, he's basically a smart enough guy to know that he's great at certain things and other things that are not his strong.
And I believe that he knows that.
I do too. And John knows that his playmaking and stuff is one of the big reasons that they have won games and the risk-averse approach. So he said, I don't think Jalen would tell you he wants to play this offense. Now, he was speculating. He didn't say he know or anything. But I think Jalen wants it.
Why hasn't Jalen said either way whether he's against a firing of an offensive coordinator or he's for a change? How come he never has commented on any of it? I mean, AJ's had comments on the coordinators. Now, look, you're going to tell me about his personality, but dude, when does a quarterback step up for somebody?
I'm going to tell you, I don't think this is on Jalen.
Okay,
what you're talking about. I think it is his personality, but I think it's the team that he plays for, coupled with the personality of the player. And what I mean by when I say the team he plays for, anybody who knows anything about the inner workings of the NovaCare complex and the Eagles organization, it's an odd building, okay? They're weird about information. They're very weird about, like, being lying, basically, and being truthful and the way things are perceived in the media, the way things are reported in the media, relationships, all these different things. The Eagles are very weird about. They walk on eggshells about. This has been a Jeffrey Lurie thing for a long time. Not the last 3 years. This has been a Jeffrey Lurie thing for 10 plus years, and I think when you have that type of environment, I commonly call them the Gestapo because every time we talk about some shit, they come barking at us. But if you couple that with a guy, Jalen Hurts, who's inherently a company guy, which is okay. I mean, he's a guy that he's not going to upset the apple cart. That's not his
By the
game.
way, go across the league. How many $50 million quarterbacks are barking up their train?
Right.
None.
He's a company guy. So if you couple that, though, with the environment he's in, I think you get a lot less, of Jalen. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing. I don't think he's going to – I mean, think about it. Anything he says, anything AJ says is used. I mean, he was on one podcast, whatever, this week, and it's been talked about everywhere. If Jalen was making comments, can you imagine? We already talk about Jalen Hurts every damn day.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go down that road. And I don't think that's all on him, but I do think he has a set style. I think he believes in himself, which is a good thing. And I think he's got a little ego to him, but I don't say that in a bad. I got ego. Silio's got ego. Every one of you listening has ego. Ego's a good thing.
I don't have an ego.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
I'm a humble dude, man.
Oh yeah. Everybody's got a little bit of ego.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's an all right thing. Did
All
Michael
right.
Jordan have an ego?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I've got my year-ending top 10 quarterbacks, playoffs, regular season. You want to hear them?
Your top 10 quarterbacks from the playoffs and the regular season?
Yep. A whole
year. Are they split or is it one list?
No, it's one list.
Okay, one list.
Guys who I think played the best this year, playoff-wise and also regular season-wise.
All right, let's hear it. I don't have the list created. If you,
I know I didn't give you a heads up on this one. Listen, I got Patrick Mahomes at number 10.
Okay.
Played 14 games, so I'm going to go there. I got Bo Nix at 9.
Okay.
I got Goff at 8.
Never in a million years did I think I'd hear Bo Nix above Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead. Who'd you have at 8?
Number 8, Jared Goff.
All right. He actually had a good year.
Number 7, Justin Herbert.
I'm surprised he's this low. He had a good year too.
Number 6, Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Number 5, I dropped him far because of his postseason. Drake May.
Yeah, I agree. You can make an argument he should. Yeah.
I would have put him 2.
Pretty shoddy playoff performance for Drake May. Yeah.
I got Sam Darnold 4.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come throws 50% completions in the Super Bowl. You use that word.
He's
that
41-9.
You use that big word for Jalen all the time. What's that word? It starts with a C. It ends with an oos. Caboose. Sam Darnold was the definition of caboose in that Super Bowl.
You mean that 343-yard production that he had in the NFC title game for 3 TDs?
Well, you don't give Hurts credit for his NFC title game last year.
I surely did. You bet I did. The Super Bowl and the NFC title game, I gave him all the credit in the world.
I know. You gave him so much credit.
Hey, the rest of that bullshit, he was in the back of the bus.
Sam Darnold at number 4. You don't believe he's 4th best.
Number 3, Dak Prescott at number 4.
Dak had a hell of a year.
I got Josh Allen 2.
Okay.
And I got Stafford 1. So here's my list. Mahomes 10, Knicks 9, Golf 8, Herbert 7, Williams 6, Drake May 5, the greatness of Sam Darnold 4, Dak 3.
Just out of curiosity, where would you have Jalen Hurts?
Great question. Hold on. I'll be fair.
Uh-oh. Anytime you see that face and hear that noise, you better buckle your seatbelt, folks.
Hold on. Where would I have him? Okay. Let's see. So do I think he had a better year than Stafford? No. Drake May? No. Darnold? No. Caleb Williams? No. He didn't have a better year than Darnold, 40 touchdowns and 25 TDs. Did he have a better year than Trevor Lawrence? 29 touchdowns and $4,000. 60% completion percentage he may have there. He didn't have a better year than Herbert. I think he had a better year than Mayfield. He didn't have a better year than Allen. Hell, Patrick Mahomes played 14 games and he had more passing yards at 3,500.
Let's see. Pat Mahomes 10th behind both sticks.
Jordan Love had 23 TDs and 6 picks. Shit, Jacoby Brissett had a better year than Hurts. Oh, this is fucking wild. Jacoby Brissett had a better year than Hurts.
I think there is a real area this year where even Jalen fans will have to knock him a little bit, because earlier Jalen was able to really make up for a lot of the statistical, numbers with the running game and with running yards and running touchdowns and some of these other playmaking abilities that he had. And that was severely diminished this year. I mean, he had about 50% of the rushing yards this year, and I'm not sure what his total touchdown was.
What's that? 15th.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right where I am, but that might even be – I mean, I think if you're being completely 100% truthful, and you never are, because even people who aren't Philly people, objective people, all the context is still in their head of what's happened and what goes on with certain quarterbacks. But – I mean, if you dropped an alien on here from Mars and they watched only the 2026 or 2025 football season, I think Jalen would be a little lower. I think he would be, because of the inefficiencies of the passing game all year, and he didn't really provide that same spark we've been accustomed to in the run game. So if you don't provide that, and the passing game sucks with what I thought was certainly good enough receivers and tight ends and everything to have a better passing game, I think somebody would grade Jalen out a little bit lower than that, to be frank.
Well, let me ask you then. I mean, what are the Eagles striving for? Like, what do you think with all this change? I mean, they did win 11. You bring this point. You and John bring up the point, which has to be, I think, hammered more on both shows, is that this fucking team did win 11 games. They did get to the playoffs. They did win a division. We're not talking about like the fucking Jets here. They're just not the Jets. And they're not even Carolina.
If you listen to the National Football Show.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it's more me. It is. It's more me. It is, because you do have to put that in context there, dude. So, dude, I have never seen anything like this where, okay, I fired my entire offensive coaching staff. They won 11 ball games. I want to do something completely different than what I was doing before. And I'm like, they were 50 and 18 in 4 years. What the fuck are you doing?
All right, so I agree. And I'll say this to everybody, even Jalen's biggest haters and Nick. But where are the Nick haters? Come out from the woodworks. I will remind all of you that regardless of what I say, what Sileo says, or what any of you think or believe, facts are facts and cannot be disputed. They are not up for opinion or subjectivity. Okay? Look at how far we come, folks. 11 wins and we're blowing shit up. 11 wins. And
Your
it's time to
organization
blow
is
it
too.
up.
But your organization is too.
I'm saying, think about how far to be an 11-win team and you're so far under expectations, you blow out half the coaching staff. You got to have some pretty high expectations and a pretty good track record of success. I got news for every Nick hater and every Jalen hater. And I admit I will hate on them both sometimes as well. That didn't happen until those two guys showed up. That didn't happen until they had control of the football team. Okay?
How much
That
pressure?
never happened before.
People didn't put pressure on Doug?
Doug got fired with 4 wins.
Okay.
They just blew out a whole staff with 11. By the way, Doug's 2 years prior to the 4 wins, if I'm not mistaken, he had, I think, 9 or 10 wins in both of those games. Less than 11.
You think the Eagles have more respect for Doug Peterson or for Nick?
Yeah, respect is a funny word there. I think they probably respect Doug more because Doug has more of a backbone.
I don't know. I don't think that they were trying to fire Doug twice in 3 years. They fired Doug because of what you said.
Because
Press Taylor because he won 4 games.
Oh, the new offensive coordinator with boy genius Ben Johnson. Did you see that? Yeah, classic. Yeah, everybody told me Doug was a dumb for Press Taylor. Oh, yeah, fire Doug for Press Taylor.
I don't fucking. So
wait. Just to revisit that real quick. All right. Because, man, I love Doug Peterson. And whenever I get an opportunity to defend Doug Peterson, I will defend Doug Peterson. The coordinators that Doug wanted that year, let's think. Who did we want on defense? Oh, we wanted Matt Burke. Oh, the defensive coordinator of the Houston Texans, the #1 defense in football this year. Got it. Okay, and who do we want on offense? Press Taylor. Just elevated to Ben Johnson, the next great offensive mind in football, who made him his offensive coordinator. And by the way, that year when we had 4 wins, does anybody want to remind me of what the injuries on the football team were in 2020? How depleted the offensive line was on that team? The receivers on that football team, Travis Fulgham and Jalen Reagor. If we trotted them out today, we wouldn't win 4 games. We'd be lucky to win 4 games. And they blew Doug out. And that now I get it. Maybe it was time. But boy, is that looked at wrong.
Boy, I think they pulled the trigger too soon on him.
I do too.
You didn't even give him a chance to dig his way out of it. You gave Nick.
It wasn't because they wanted to pull the trigger, dude. It took them 3 weeks to fire him after the season ended. They fired him January 19th or something.
Yeah, they did.
The season ended January 5th.
That's right.
Took them multiple weeks. It's because they wanted him they wanted him to put in who they wanted to install.
They wanted him to turn into Nick.
Yeah. They wanted him to do whatever they wanted.
Your coach.
I'll defend Nick because I think he's in a tough situation in Philly. And I think some people don't have all the information, which is fine. But this is not an easy spot to be a head coach.
So I went and looked at
Doug is my coach, Sills.
I went and looked at your coaching staff, and how come I still see Kevin Patullo on the staff?
Dude, what are they doing with him? Is he going to come back?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
Nick's not going to let him out of the building. You know why?
Sorry, that is just funny.
He's going to build him up again. He's going to allow him next year, if he wants, to go to work with, guess who? Frank Reich. You watch this. If Kevin Patullo will be with the Jets and Frank Reich working with the quarterback, maybe the reason he's not out of the building yet, is because remember Frank got on my ass. I showed you the text.
Yeah, he was not
Okay?
happy.
He was not happy with
Have you
that.
talked to him since then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you guys
He
are
goes,
good?
why are you kicking my guy's ass around? I go, you gonna hire him for the Jets? And he goes like this. He's like,
No, I'm not hiring him.
he goes, who fucking told you that now? Let me guess. Boomer told you. I went, no, I'm just, he goes, yeah, Boomer told me you're waiting to see. They're waiting. Okay, the Jets don't have a quarterback yet, right?
I thought they get one?
No.
Who are you? Oh no, you speculated that they were going, or not speculated.
Kyler Murray or
oh, what a travesty that would be. I would never sign that kid.
I know people who don't want that.
Yeah, I would not go that route. I bet you Frank doesn't want that. He just can't say it.
I know this.
No comment from you, Sileo. You're already
I'm not a very good poker player. Listen, I can tell you this. When the quarterback gets situated at a particular team in the NFL, Kevin Patullo could or could not be on that coaching staff.
Good. Go for him. Get out of Philly.
I don't even get out of Philly.
I don't even think he was problem number one, but
he's not problem number one.
What do you want me to do? Fucking sing a sob song for him? He's gone. See you, dude. Don't forget to clean the egg off your house and you list it for sale.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Listen,
oh,
scrape the egg. Hey, you know that TP that you have in your tree?
Yeah. You better wipe that egg off the window, dude. That's how you're going to knock 10 G's off your home.
You notice, has he been the only guy they've ever retained and demoted and not like fired? Is it in the nick time?
No, they just did it with Parks Frazier. They just signed a pass game coordinator, Josh Grizzard. Parks Frazier was the pass game coordinator. He's still in the building. And John said he's not leaving. He's going to be here.
Yeah. Kevin Tulo, too.
Boy, think about this environment, guy. What a lovely environment. A 33, a 35, and a 38-year-old who are all just getting their feet wet in their jobs. And they all got the guys they replaced still in the building. Parks Frazier and Kevin Patullo are still walking around the halls. Oh, yeah. What a lovely environment.
Hey, I'd like you to meet my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's like moving your new wife in with your ex-wife at the same time. Like, what are you doing here, man?
Hey, my ex-wife's going to live in the garage here. Don't mind her.
Oh, so funny.
Dude, right? Okay. All right, what about what about Lane Johnson? Looks like he's coming back, huh? I'm wrong.
Ooh, that's a quick L for you. That might be one of the quicker L's you've ever taken.
Okay. I might be. Because wait a minute now. So Lane's going to come back, and he's going to have a 33-year-old snot-nosed little frat guy.
24 hours ago, you told me he was gone.
Yeah. I would have left. I would have retired. What is this little snot-nosed guy going to tell Lane Johnson? Move your foot?
Lane doesn't need coaching. Ask Stoutland. He wasn't coaching Lane up every day.
Oh.
He was coaching up what's the kid's name? Hinton. And Williams and Trevor Keegan, who never did shit.
Chris Cooper's going to have his first offensive line meeting. There's Jordan Mailata. There's fucking Lane Johnson. And there's Landon Dickerson. And here comes a fraternity kid with his Izod fucking shirt sitting in the front row going, hey, guys, you got to move your feet more.
This guy played 79 games in the league. You think he doesn't know anything? If I'm him, I'm telling Tyler Steen, sit down and shut the hell up, guy. You'd be lucky to have my career.
Hold on. 79 games. That's a really great job. I'm talking about Jordan Mailata and fucking Lane Johnson.
Is Marshall making crap up, or did they hire someone? Marshall, you didn't just lie to me, dude.
Just hired an assistant head coach.
I don't get that job role. What does that mean?
Like
a literal personal assistant?
No. What it is so you can hire somebody off somebody else's coaching staff. Like say you have say you are an assistant quarterback coach, okay? For you to have a lateral move, you've got to go like this. He's an assistant quarterback coach, an assistant to the head coach. He's like an assistant head coach. You have to like elevate.
Yeah, so you can avoid, you mean, them jumping.
You can't make lateral moves under contract.
Right.
That's why you can't poach like you can't go like this. Hey, I love that coordinator that's sitting there. You just can't go unless that contract is up. Or what you do is you name him the assistant head football coach. That's how you can go. Want to name him the assistant head coach. Now, I don't know how many of those you can have.
I got a question for you. How about this? And a little switcheroo on the National Football Show. Dan Sileo. Will Nick Sirianni be the head coach on February 11th of 2027?
No. Because I don't think
follow up. You want to elaborate before I follow up?
Let me elaborate, because I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. Now, I'm putting all of it on the line here in February.
You reserve the right to change it. This is a question for me. This is not a bold take by you or anything like that.
I think John's in my boat too. I just don't think this is going to work.
He has more in your boat. My follow-up question is this. Dan Sileo. I don't call you that very often. Will Jalen Hurts be the starting quarterback or the presumed starting quarterback February 11th, 2027?
Okay, so if you fire Nick, you blow out the entire offensive staff.
But you probably blow out the entire staff.
Right. You're gonna blow.
Because Vic will probably retire.
You're gonna blow everything. Plus, you're losing Vic on the other side. Presumably, you're gonna lose Lane. Would you agree this is probably Lane's last year?
I think it's Vic's last year too.
I think Hurts goes into 27 with if he has another start to the season, he'll be out by the end of 27. I don't think it's the beginning of 27. I think it'll be the end of 27 that they get rid of him.
Me too. I don't think it's one more year. I think it's 2 more years at least.
Yeah. I think they'll move off of him, and that would mean that too, that he's not playing well this coming year, 26. I think if he goes in there, say they go 8-9, okay, they go 8-9 this year, or they go 7-10, it'll be the beginning of the end, and they'll bench him by week 5 or 6 of next year, and it'll be a complete Doug Peterson last season like that. And I think there'll be a new coach. The funny thing would be, if you had to replace Nick, who would you replace him with? What style of coach would you replace him with? Because if you're going to,
if this doesn't work,
what style of coach are you going to replace him with? Are you going to replace him with a defensive-minded guy because you lose Vic? Or are you going to replace him with a coach?
Yeah, like what are they going to, in other words, are they going to hire another West Coast offense scheme?
Yeah. Without that West Coast quarterback?
I'll tell you what, guys.
I
will tell you what.
Content.
If this team isn't building this thing this year exactly like that, how many times have you heard Sileo and I say, boom or bust?
Oh, yeah.
Fire and ice. Either really good or really bad.
Yep.
This season fits that description to a T. It's either going to be great or it's going to be a colossal failure.
Do you think that they would bring in, let's play the game here with me. Say Justin Herbert gets to the AFC Championship game.
Which I think he could, by the way.
Okay. Well, then here, and let's say this thing, because I'm with John. I don't believe this is going to work. Nick gets blown out. Would you bring Mike McDaniel in as the head football coach, as the play caller?
I don't think Mike would want to work here. He didn't want to be the coordinator here. Why would he want to be the head coach here?
Because of Howie. Bro, Howie makes the boo-boo go away.
But dude, you just got done talking about, and I agree with you, how you have to be a head coach in this city. You can't be a head coach like people are used to being head coaches. Doug didn't ask to move mountains. Doug didn't ask for crazy things, extraordinary things. Doug said, "Can I pick the next offensive coordinator? I won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Hey, can I just pick my OC? Goodbye." Come on, man.
I wonder if you could talk Tomlin.
I
wonder if you could talk Tomlin out of retirement.
No way. Tomlin come here to be bossed around by Lurie and Howie and Lurie's son? Are you kidding me? Mike Tomlin runs his organization for good or for bad. He's not doing that. And by the way, the Eagles don't want that because they want control, dude. Why do you think it's a trend in Philly? They always hire the name, and people give them credit for it because sometimes it works out. They always hire the name nobody thinks about. Why? They always hire the OC nobody thinks about. They hired Mannion, who nobody's freaking heard of. They hired Sirianni when nobody heard of him. They hired Doug when he was a quarterback's coach. They hired, Andy when nobody knew who it was.
Would you hire Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin's another guy who wouldn't work here well. Who wouldn't work very well here.
Why? How do you know he hasn't grown as a guy?
I love Lane Kiffin. I think he's great, but he's not gonna coach offense in Philly.
No, I'm talking head coach, like that kind of guy.
I know what you're asking. I don't think so. I think but wait, real quick. He is literally the king of the castle.
Oh, completely.
In Louisiana. He's
got $14 million a year.
He's got the women. He's got the money. He's got the yoga. He's got the recruiting class, the NIL dollars. He's got full control of the program.
$14 million a year he makes.
You think he wants to come and answer to Julie and Lurie?
No.
Come on, Sills.
No, I'm staying in my own moat too. At LSU, you're the king of your own moat.
Exactly.
Nobody. I wonder what that would look like because there's no question this is swing or miss here this year. Why would they go to this extreme? Dude, I can't believe an organization that is so, they practice risk averse. And then they fucking this is not risk averse. This is like sink or swim.
Well, you're playing risk averse. You can't do everything risk averse or else you're really going to be cooked.
All right.
I don't live my life risk averse. I live my life on the edge. All right. I live as risky as you could get. All right. In other words, every time I call my accountant, he's like, "You're fucking nuts," and he hangs up on me. So I live my life risky. I'm not a risk averse kind of guy. I don't. You know what? And I love it that way. I would much rather live with my ass exposed than hidden away for good. That's just the way I roll. So not my style.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that. Exactly. All right, I can. All right, what are you going to do in the draft here, guy? Let me give you some names. Ready? These are my 10 dudes. Ruben Bain, number 1. I think he's the best player in the draft.
He's a stud.
I got the kid Reese, linebacker, Ohio State. Not a need for the Eagles. I got the kid Bailey, number 3, edge, Texas Tech. Caleb Downs, who was a former Bama guy who transferred up to OSU. That kid, I can't believe he got out of Alabama. Was it because Saban left?
Who?
Downs?
Yeah, he left.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Caleb Downs. I got Jeremiah Love, running back at 5. I got Tate, wideout, 6, OSU. I got Styles, LB, OSU. Got Lemon, wide receiver, USC, 8. I got Mansour Delane, quarterback, LSU, 9. And I got Francis Magala, offensive tackle, Miami, at number 10. Now, those are the 10 best players, in my opinion, which, by the way, since I've been on JAKIB, I've been pretty much a grand slam fucking knocking out of the park when it comes to talent evaluating with guys that I say that will be good players. I mean, we've been pretty much right on with these guys. Here are the Eagle 6 that I have. Have you started looking at the draft yet?
Yeah. A little bit. I'm not where I want to be with it yet, but I'm getting there.
Okay.
I've been reading all the reports and everything. And remember, I watch a lot of college football.
I know
so
you're
I do know most of the guys. For people who never watch college, it's a tough process. I do know most of the Power 5 guys.
I completely will vouch for that you are a college dude.
Yeah, for sure.
There's people in Philly who are not.
No, it's more uncommon. Yeah, they're Penn State people here is what they are.
Yeah, there are a lot of Penn State and Notre Dame folks here. I got Cotton Hood, cornerback, Tennessee. I've got Caden Proctor, O-line, Bama. Zion Young, edge, Missouri. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, depending on what you do with AJ. I got Howe, edge, A&M. And I got Kendra Siddick, tight end, Oregon. Those are my Eagles 6. One of those 6 guys, in my opinion, will be taken by the Eagles. Which one of area of need, or is it still too early yet in deciding what to figure out? Now, if we're going by lane, bro, I'm not. Do you draft Lane's replacement now? And do you play him at guard? Let him battle with Tyler Steen?
Maybe. Remember, though, the changes to the O-line coach, that make a big difference.
Completely.
Like John's ready. He was like, early, he was like, I'd draft, like, if they draft Proctor, that makes sense. You can play him at guard and then slot him to right tackle when Lane goes. I don't know if that's the guy, a 6'7", whatever Caden Proctor is, playing guard anymore. You're playing West Coast offense, presumably. I don't think you want a guard that size in there.
No. But here's the problem that you have with the O-line that you have. Now, dude, Jordan Mailata can play fullback for you. He's so talented and such an athlete, right? The problem that you have, Alex Gibb is a former offensive line coach, Zander. I don't know if you ever heard the name.
Yeah, I know.
He coached the Broncos back with those back-to-back Super Bowl championship teams. There wasn't an lineman over 300 pounds. They were 290, 285, 275, and they were guys who were just exceptionally athletic. You've got to have, like, Mekhi Becton won't work with this new O-line guy. Like, thinking of having him back, that's out. So do you hedge a year and wait till next year when he officially retires, or do you try to bring a guy in now? Don't you need a player to play today instead of next year?
I mean, technically, the 5 starters are under contract this year.
Well, then why don't you punt that down the line?
Well, I just think you're getting into risky territory to think if you don't have a contingent. I mean, remember that something that's been widely reported is they have been trying to get a replacement for Lane in the last several drafts. And the board didn't fall their way. A couple things happened in recent drafts. I think they wanted that Patano guy. There's a couple guys they wanted, and it didn't end up that way. So I just think you're skating. I mean, every year closer to Lane retiring, I think the layer of ice you're skating on gets thinner. Anybody ever played pond hockey? One of my favorite things to do when I was younger was play pond hockey. You better check that ice, man. If that ice gets too thin, you're going to end up at the bottom of the creek, man, and you're not going to have a way out. So that ice gets thinner every year. How thin you want to go? I don't know, brother. I don't know.
So wouldn't you say this then? You got to find how do you think you're going to win football games next year in 26? Offensively or defensively? This year you won defensively.
Yeah, I think it's going to be defensively again, but I'm hopeful that the offense can have, a much more significant impact on the team this year and the success than they did this year. Much bigger impact on the success of the team.
Well, then doesn't it make sense, Zander, for me to go like this and get a defensive guy that can make an impact? Then go offense?
Well, it does, but where do you think? Edge or safety or corner?
I think corner.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that I think corner is a little bit of a stretch is just because of Cooper and Quignon, but they're 2 years down, so you're going to have some leeway. You're probably going to be able to get another contract done for Cooper before you even have to worry about paying the new guy. So I could see that.
You think Howie's going to be more active in free agency or the draft?
The draft again. I don't think they're going to go and spend a boatload of money. I really don't. I think it's another pseudo maintenance year type of thing.
Another Timu year.
I don't know if it's to that level. I think it's somewhere between the middle, somewhere in the middle.
Okay. I've got an A.J. Brown question here. By the way, we'll read these supers in a second. Battle Royale will happen. And also, Adam Kaplan today at 5:30. He will join us. So let me go here. How do you make A.J. Do you believe that getting rid of A.J. Brown could actually be in the best interest of the team? Is there any way you see moving off of him as a positive?
I see moving off of him as a positive if the player, is so consumed personally that it takes away from the team. Remember, this is a team game it's made up of talented individuals, but it's a team football game. And I'm a big AJ Brown guy. How many times have you heard me defend AJ? And I never wanted him out and I still don't want him out. But I will say this. I'm not going to deny my eyes. All right. His lack of focus, his problems with the offense, his gripes for however valid they might have been, impacted the team negatively. He dropped footballs in the biggest game of the year. He didn't give 110% effort on every play. Herb Brooks, I said the quote this morning, you give 99%, you make my job very easy. Did A.J. Brown give 110% on every play? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. And even on plays where the ball was coming his way. So don't hit me with nobody gives 100% as a receiver when they're blocking. I'm not talking about blocking. I'm talking about when the ball was coming at him. So if you're going to do that, then just save us it. Yeah, it's going to be hard to replace you, but we don't need that. That's not going to help.
Before we get to the supers here, I want to ask this last one then. Do you believe that Devontae Smith could take over the role of number one?
I think that's a tough one. I think I love Devontae, but I said it to you yesterday. I've been, perhaps it's unrealistic expectation, but I've been waiting for Devontae to become like.
Well, then doesn't this make sense in a West Coast offense? He fits better.
So you think he hasn't become the guy because of the opportunity as opposed to the skill set?
Completely. I think he's a number two, and I think he's been in that role. Well, Zander, what was the draft pick? You drafted him 11th or 12th? 10th. Fuck, man. I mean, either you.
That's why I said to you yesterday, I'm an Alabama guy and a Smitty
where was CeeDee Lamb drafted? CeeDee Lamb wasn't the 10th pick.
He was, I think, 19th or 20th, right before the Eagles picked Rager, remember?
This is 10th.
Remember the Eagles passed on CeeDee Lamb to draft Jalen Rager?
Oh, hey, Zander, he's 10th. Don't you think the guy's got to take the number one role eventually?
CeeDee Lamb draft. No, they didn't pass on CeeDee. CeeDee was 17th overall in 2020.
Okay.
Jalen Rager was 21.
Now, again, CeeDee's more in the slot. I get all that. But when does Devontae become the number one?
He's a better receiver. Forget where they line up. He's a flat-out receiver.
He's a better receiver.
I don't even think it's close.
So then Devontae was overdrafted.
I mean, you can make that argument. I think he's been a pretty good player for the 10th overall pick. But, is he the best 10th overall pick ever? No.
The 10th overall pick's the number two still after 5 years?
Do you think he could be the one? Or do you think that'd be a pretty weak receiving group?
I think if you had Justin Herbert as your quarterback, he'd be spectacular. I think in what you're going to attempt to do with a run guy, I don't think he's that guy. You've got to be a CD would be great in this offense. You know why? Because you can move him in multiple places. Slot, Y, Z. In West Coast offenses.
He already does that in Dallas, and he gets the ball. He wouldn't get the ball enough.
I'm saying that. Let's quickly read these supers here.
We can do them after if you want.
We can.
All right, we'll do a couple. Sills, I take off Jordan, Tyson, and Sadiq. I think they're going top 15. I put in Boston and Lomo. I do like both those guys, Boston and Lomo.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
I'm with you. All right, a couple more we'll get to. Hangry Dogs, over the cap date, says Lane is due $23 million in cash. Yeah, he's getting paid a lot this year.
Oh,
Marshall,
absolutely.
his name is Cole Peter. Cole's been here a while, Marshall. Cole was the assistant head coach last year. I don't know if they elevated him to another role, but he's been the assistant head coach there. I think last year was his first year, but he's been here. Mr. Hill, Nick saved Bobo. He is going to be swooping 26. Here's Marsh. Eagles just hired an assistant to the head coach. Oh, yeah, no. Cole Peterson is not becoming the head coach of the Eagles, Marshall. I know you hate Nick, but can you persuade Frank to take Bobo now, Sills? That would be great. Here's Henry Dogs. Did the 4-win O-line look more like the 25 O-line? This is why Howie and Timu Budget need to take accountability. I don't know. If you're talking about the 2020 O-line, that was pretty bad, bro.
It was, man. They were trash cans blocking.
This O-line might have been bad. They were not that bad.
Yeah,
I don't even think close, to be frank.
No
Mikey
way.
Shred. 6 teams in the first round are eliminated every year. I've never seen an organization like Philly fire coaches at the rate they do. They expect Super Bowl every year. Jeez.
Great.
Marshall says, proud Nick hater right here, front and center. He is a tool.
How you doing?
Well, we didn't start winning. Marsh, when Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni showed up, 11 wins was considered catastrophic in the city of brotherly love. That didn't happen until those 2 guys showed up.
Hey,
all right, Howie's been here. Larry's been here.
Well, I got to tell you, man, if I'm Mark Holmes, I'm feeling pretty good about the last 2 Super Bowls. I'm watching two good quarterbacks, Hurts and Sam Darnold, win. I think it goes to Mark Holmes's take. You have to have an organization around Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but it also goes to the point of that, we get engrossed and entrenched in quarterbacks and offense. It's not all that, dude. You need a great team. You need a great defense.
That's right. But that goes to Mark's take about Dak.
See, I actually think Philly should be feeling better than Mark. Because if anything, we've proven again that offense is a little overrated. The Cowboys were the best offense in football this year. They didn't even sniff January.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you don't have to have an elite guy at the position to win.
I know that. I think Dak's pretty good quarterback.
Well, I'm sorry?
I think Dak's a pretty damn good quarterback.
That's a great quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is.
He is a great quarterback.
I know Philly doesn't like to hear that, but I think if Philly 500 took truth serum, he would say, yeah, Dak is good. Yeah. Now, where Philly's right is he does choke every December. I mean, it's like clockwork. They don't do shit in the playoffs. 2 wins in 12 years is insane, whatever it is. So
I don't know,
that's
man.
the truth, but
look at Mark Holmes.
He can definitely.
He looks like he's in Dracula's cave right now. So we'll be
taking shots like that. All right, I'm out of here, dude. Later.
All right, big guy, man. Well, hey, keep it up, man. John's throwing nuggets, by the way, at 365. So make sure you guys catch him. Bro, talk to you in the morning, man.
Later, bro. Later.
You got it.